Hey everyone, this is Joe from What I'm Playing Now, and we are back here live at Origins 2018. I am here with Josh. I'm here with Kyle, Hipline Games. They have a new game that's going to be coming out to Kickstarter soon. They are friends of the show. We will give a disclaimer here very quickly. I've actually played prototypes of this game, and I will say what they have here right now is actually very impressive. So, guys, how's the shows going for you so far?
I'd say it's being extremely endearing and challenging. We had a little bit of a snafu that we didn't find out about until Tuesday.
I remember that the first night we were up at Bar 2,
Yeah, we learned on Tuesday that we had 31 events set up for us that we weren't aware of. So our plan was to have the two of us be in our booth together to be able to manage everything and talk to everyone as they go by. But we had the opportunity to run official events, so we were able to divide and conquer.
And that's definitely what you guys want to do. You guys are a newer design company. You're going to be publishing your own game, so that's definitely something that we all have to be a little flexible. I mean, my wife's had to jump behind the camera a couple of times here at the show, and trust me, I had to give her a quick 30-second instruction on how to run this camera so she could do what she needed to do for me.
Well, the vast majority of it is all about exposure, right?
Right, definitely,
so,
yeah.
Like, the fact that people were signing up for the events or saying that they heard about Gamma Grunts, our game, and just showing up with generics saying, hey, is there still room in your event? I would love to be a part of it. Or hearing in line, like, from a child, like, the coolest moment was, like, hearing when I was waiting to, like, get water and in order to, like, stay hydrated, because that's the most important part when you're at a gaming convention.
Definitely. I have 2 jugs of water in my backpack today.
Yeah, see, that's what you do. Especially if you're stuck in a place, it's good to have access to water. But I heard this child say, I'm so excited about Gamma Grunts. Can we go play when we get done eating? And I'm like, they didn't even play the game with me. They just were wandering the exhibit hall.
That's awesome. Well, that's got to make you guys feel really good. So, okay, so we've talked about the game a little bit. I know a little bit about the game, but let's tell everybody about what's Gamma Grunts? What do we have here?
So Gamma Grunts is a combat-oriented deck builder that we are calling a deck smash game, because that's the core mechanic of what you're doing. You're smashing cards from players' decks or their hands. So everyone takes the role of a mad scientist bent on world domination. There's only one problem. There are other mad scientists in their way, so it's their mission to smash them in the face. I mean, their decks. So they do that by using the grunts that they have, such as Half Brian Lackey here. And you'll notice that they have attack and defense stats. Is that visible on the camera?
They probably won't be able to see that because I won't be able to zoom in that much.
Okay.
But you can state that, and then maybe we can put some pictures up there afterwards.
Okay. So all the grunts have attack and defense stats, and they are your main guys for attacking and defending. So whenever a player takes damage from one of these grunts, they have to smash, which means to destroy or remove a card from their hand and send it to the smash pile over here by the draft. So when that happens, whoever smashes things earns infamy, which is our victory points. The game plays the first to 20 infamy or last person standing. Now you might be asking yourself, how can you have a last person standing in a deck builder game? Well, we have a mechanic where you have to pay to get your discard pile, that we call the recycle bin, back into your deck. So Gamma Juice is our main resource for everything in the game. You send it to the lab for processing to play cards from your hands, and you use them from your stockpile of Gamma Juice or your hand to reshuffle your discard pile, that we call the recycle bin, back into the deck. So if there's ever a time when someone has to draw a card and they can't, they go completely insane and they are unable to manage their resources anymore, which eliminates them. But that doesn't mean they're out for the count quite yet. They still get to do a little bit of interaction. So we don't want anybody to feel like they've lost and can't keep playing.
Well, and that comes into play something called draft chaos that we kind of incorporate in there, which is a way to mess with the stacks. So what you can do is you can actually destroy cards from this area, and you can also discover new cards. So you're constantly not only building your resources and building your army and, discovering new things as a mad scientist, but you're meddling with everyone else and also trying to fudge your own numbers to make them work. And what I really love about the recycle bin mechanic is it's basically like you're going to the store as a mad scientist. You're going to the mad scientist store, picking up some materials, but you can't really build them yet, and you need that radioactive material, gamma juice, in order to make it happen. So it's not, you're constantly trying to
It's not
build
something
that
you're going to
up.
find down at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah. So it's-
Yeah, go goo or go home.
So you guys are going to have this. You've had this out of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What other shows are you guys going to be hitting this year to show off the game?
At a minimum, we're going to have some time on Sunday at Gen Con,
Okay.
and we are working out details to go to other events
Excellent.
as available.
Especially Comic Cons, where we have a lot of we have some potential for Wizard World, other Comic Cons. We're considering another very small convention downtown that someone they haven't given me the name. They just said they're going to have a convention downtown this year, which is very specific. I know, but they said they want me to come, so that's great. And then we're also going to be doing a lot of stuff online too, a lot of interaction there. So
Excellent, excellent. You guys are talking about throwing this up on Kickstarter. Do you have any idea when this might be hitting Kickstarter? Have you
August
guys?
14th.
Okay,
right after.
there we go. August 14th, right after Gen Con. It's going to be on Kickstarter. So we have the base game here. How many cards are actually going to come in the base set?
We're going to have 200 cards in the game. That's going to include 4 combat reminder cards, a 128 draftable cards, and
then the rest are all going to be the base game or the base cards that you start with, because every deck starts with the same amount. So every Mad Scientist is coming in with the same
Right.
resources to go.
Okay. And during the Kickstarter, you guys think about doing expansions already for the game?
yeah, we. So the product development that we've been going through this.
Let's get some nice juicy stuff here, guys. Come on, share something with me.
So the iteration 1 of this game had 6 draft piles. Right now we go up to 4, and after we've gone through literally hundreds and hundreds of hours of playtesting on this game, we came to realize that no one could ever get to the 5 and 6 cost cards because they were just too expensive to get. So we are probably we're going to rekajigger those cards so that they fit the way the game is now. And we're looking at making that into an expansion,
cool.
probably calling it Breaking the Curve.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
We also, not to hint at too many of the exclusives, but there might be some Mad Scientist roles that we're going to be putting in there as some of the Kickstarter exclusives, specifically
Nice.
once we hit certain points in there,
Excellent.
where they'll have one-time abilities that are really rad. Like,
Okay.
that's as much detail as I want to reveal right now, but
It's a little teaser. That's
Little
good, though.
teaser.
People like teasers. So we have 4 sheets set up here, 4 different areas. So the game plays 2 to 4 people. How long does a game normally last about? What's the timeline?
Assuming everyone knows what they're doing, a 2-player game can go as quick as 10 minutes. 4-player game, 3 and 4-player games have a whole dynamic of politics that's going on, because whenever you attack with your grunts, they can't defend you anymore because they're exhausted. Now, that's where you start to have politics playing in. When you see one person that's starting to advance along the infamy track that's way ahead of everyone, you're going to probably team up on them, if you're smart. But then again, you are a mad scientist, so who knows what you'll do. So in a full 4-player game, it could take up to an hour. But usually when people know what they're doing, it just flies.
I think for a deck builder and where you're smashing everything, I think an hour is probably a perfectly length game, especially for 4 people. I know when we were doing the play testing at home, the game that Kim and I were playing, it definitely wasn't an hour, but it's still a lot of fun. And, we were playing with prototype material, and when my wife saw this, she goes, wow. She goes, I know we were playing with prototype. She goes, but the art style that you guys went with, I think is really unique, really outstanding. I love the cartoony look. I mean, the Bomber Puppy is probably one of my favorite damn cards with the Corgi on there. I just love that thing. That is just one of the coolest cards.
that's why I had to make it into a phone
I know,
case,
I saw that on your
because
phone
it's
case.
adorable.
That is just the coolest thing in the world. I was super jealous on that one.
I really love the feeling. 'Cause while we're here at Origins, people that have been doing the demos of the games, we've been giving them promo cards, and people had roughly a 50-50 chance of getting a Bomber Puppy and a card we call Super Brute. And so many people, when they get the Bomber Puppy, like, and
He's almost going to turn into your mascot.
He kind of is
it's our
already.
Pikachu.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's about what it is. I mean, that's what he's going to turn into. I mean,
We
but it's
also
just
had-
awesome.
We also had this one child ask us to sign the card, and these two adults too. People are it was that because that's kind of the signature. It's becoming kind of like the signature card
Right.
for Gamma Grunts. Even though it's all about the grunts, it's just now you
Yeah.
throw in this little puppy.
Now, how did you guys feel when you got asked to sign your first card? What did that make you guys feel?
The first card I was asked to sign, I was like, okay, cool.
I'm a little bit more I feel emotional.
I'm emotionally dead.
Yeah. I immediately, I literally started tearing up whenever someone asked me to sign their card, and I was like, this is how I know. This is what it's all about. Just they love the game so much that they want to have a piece of we're not gonna have those cards ever again because this is the beginning, and
Right.
it's just there were only for Origins, and there was only a few amounts of
Right.
them, so it's kind of a cute moment.
Definitely. All right. Anything else we want to talk about for the game real quick? I think we've covered basically how to play the game, what the goal of the game is.
We did leave out one thing. We didn't mention disruptions. Disruptions are cards that we have that you can play at any time during the game. You'll notice that as you see this, there's orange and green cards. The orange cards also have lightning bolts. Those are our disruptions. So they all say what they do, and you can play them whenever you want, except during combat, which you have to wait until after blockers are declared. But other than that, you can mess with other people's turns. It's a really fun experience where someone's like, I'm about to win. Nope.
And those are the type of cards that always make the game just that much more fun. I mean, when you can stop somebody from winning. But all right, guys, I think we've covered the game. Great luck. Good luck on the Kickstarter when that comes out. Hey, everybody, we're going to be back here more live at Origins 2018. Everybody, have a good one. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.